My name's Jonathan Rolande from House by Fast. George is going to shout out a few questions now that have been sent into zoopla.co.uk. I hope you find the answers useful. Any other queries, don't hesitate to get in touch. So far away, George.
Okay, first question is, if I want to buy a flat in Alton using the buy-to-let scheme, do you think the flat is going to be easy to rent out? This is from Sky Crystal on Zoopla.
Well, it's difficult to say specific areas because things can vary so much, even street by street, and sometimes certainly in places like London, one side of the road can be better than the other, you know, these sorts of things. So every area is different. What you need to do is, if I were you, is speak to some local letting agents and ask their opinion. Also go on to zoopla.co.uk and have a browse around at letting sites as if you're an applicant, so that you type in your criteria and see what comes up in the Alton area. Also walk around the area if I were you and see how many to let boards there are in the area and how many let by or slips on there saying let, and that way you'll get a good idea as to the sort of turnover of property as well. I hope that helps. Anything more specific, get in touch.
Okay, next question is, how can I find out how much to charge for my rent on my property? This is from Ocean Blue on Zoopla.
Okay, hello there. Well, what I would suggest is that you get one or two agents round. There's benefits to using an agent rather than trying to let privately. Of course, the downside is that you have to pay them something. But other than that, they will give you good advice, hopefully, on the rental figure. They'll also look after things like maintenance of the property. They'll make sure that you're compliant with gas safety regulations, for example, soft furnishing regulations, things that you may not know about. They'll also lodge the deposit in the tenancy deposit scheme, or one of them. So it's not impossible to let yourself, but it certainly does make it easier to get an agent round, and of course they'll give you a good idea on the rental figure. What I'd suggest, if you are definitely going to rent it yourself, is to go online to zoopla.co.uk and register as an applicant and see what other agents are offering to let. Bear in mind that often agents ask slightly more than private lets. Somebody renting privately will expect to get a little bit of a discount normally because they know that there's no agent's charges, so you have to pass some of that benefit on. But as I say, get in touch with some local agents, look on zoopla.co.uk and you'll get a good idea as to the rent yield you can expect.
Okay, and the last and final one is, only had one viewing in 2 weeks, should I panic? I was told the majority of viewings would take place in the first 2 weeks on the market.
That is true. I don't think you should panic, but you're right to be worrying about it. It's not a good sign. However, as we're recording this in April, it's still cold, it's still winter weather, and actually the property market is still quite wintry as well. It's more, to me, like a February market than an April market, simply because of weather conditions, people not going out as much and browsing around. Get in touch with your estate agent and find out what they think is the reason. You can always do things such as adjusting the price. Maybe the photographs of the property aren't as effective as they should be. Otherwise, you might want to give it a bit more prominence on websites such as Rightmove or Zoopla by registering it with a premium or enhanced listing. So speak to your estate agent about that. That can often increase the number of leads that they get by anything up to about 25 or 30%. So that should then reflect on into more viewings. It could be the presentation of the property. As I say, if the house looks quite cluttered, for example, then that may be putting people off when they're viewing the details online. If you want me to look at it specifically, I might be able to give you some more advice. So send me a link to the estate agent site and I'll happily report back to you. Thanks very much. Thank you very much as ever for getting in contact, and it's been a pleasure to answer the questions today. Anything else, don't hesitate to contact me directly. You can find my details on the site here. And for now, until next time, thank you very much.